Hello and welcome to tonight's CT matchup between the Whitehall Norse and the Emmanuel Lutheran Lancers. We're looking forward to a big senior night tonight for the Lancers home group, where we pay respect to all the Lancers, both students on the court and helping out in any other way. You will see them in their darkest blue shirts tonight, and all the other students should be wearing black, I think. So if you get a chance to talk to them tonight, make sure to let them know how much you appreciate them and what they've done for the school and the memories that the impacts that they've made. Some final lineup checks to get done here, and it will be Molly Shabrel serving first for the Lancers tonight. First serve from Shabrel. Pretty good looking serve. That's received by number 3, Quidzich. Next serve from Shabrel. The Lancers are up to a 1-0 lead to start things off. This time it's Knutson there. Nelson now for the Lancers. Shabrel will bump it up for Pfeiffer to spike this one just a bit too low. They'll go into the net, giving the Norse their first point of the night. Serving for them is number 22, Lucy Fry. Fry with the serve. Sends it deep. Miller is there to receive this one. Shabrel will bump it up for Gabby Nelson to send this one over. Fry is there for the Norse. Good setup for Hansen. Shabrel receives this one cleanly. Kern will set this one over to the North side. Nice reflexes there by Miller to keep that alive for the Lancers. Bounces off the top of the net. Are the Norse able to keep it alive here? Yes, they are. Set over by Waniarek. Good spike from Pfeiffer, just barely out of the back corner. This point will go to the Norse, giving them their first lead, 2-1. Fry once again. Lower serve, Pfeiffer bumps this one straight back over to the North side, giving them time to set up for potential point scoring. Number 4, Davis tries to tip this one over the net, but gets caught up in it, and it's now tied up 2-2 with Kern to serve for the Lancers. Shorter serve, well positioned. Knutson can't get down for this one. That's an ace from Kern, and the Lancers are back up 3-2. Kern again. This one bounces off the side of her hand, still makes it over. That's another ace from Kern. Kern again. This one's received by Knutson. Davis will send this one over. Shabrel keeps it out of the net, but none of her teammates were there, and that will give the Norse their third point. Now down by 1. Serving now is number 23, Hansen. High serve. Kern is there. Shabrel will set up Pfeiffer. Doesn't quite get there in time, and it's tied up 4-4. Hansen once again. Kern sends this one a bit too close into the net, too far in front of teammate Shabrel, and the Norse will retake the lead early on in this first set. Hansen again. This time it's Lily Nelson there. Shabrel will bump it up for Pfeiffer to spike this one over. Well received, but unfortunately Vollert can't follow through, and that is 5-5 tie. That's Izzy Roth coming in to replace Lily Nelson as Gabby Nelson heads back to serve. Serve from Gabby Nelson goes wide left. And Schmid will come in to replace her. Now serving is Kira Davis. Kern receives it. Shabrel will bump it up for Miller. Good spike. And the Norse are able to keep this one alive. Kern is there for the Lancers now. Shabrel sets it over. And miscommunication between Davis and Knutson will give Lancers their 6th point. It's tied up once again. Serving is Pfeiffer for green. Good serve. Deep is received by Mendez. And Fry will send this one way deep in the back corner. That's an absolute snipe, though, inbounds by just about a foot in either direction. And it's a 1-point advantage, 7-6 in favor of the Norse. Glidzage. Serve comes up well short of the net. Miller now. Low serve received by Fry, and she will send it too far out of the reach of her teammates, giving the Lancers the 1-point advantage once again, up 8-7. Miller once again. This serve comes up short, tied up at 8. This has been a very back and forth game here early on in this first set. Now serving is Sophie Knutson for the Norse, after Hansen comes in to replace Salazar. Good serve. Kern is there. Williams will set it up for Roth, but mishandles the set a little bit. And the Norse are just 1 point away from that double-digit mark for the first time tonight. Good serve received by Kern. Williams can't get there in time for it, and that is a 10-8 advantage for the Norse. Knutson serving for Orange once again. This serve will come up short. Serving is a very big part of the C-team game here, and I just feel like I can't overstate it, how critical it is for a C-team to have good serving. Both of these teams are looking pretty even on the serving table tonight, but if one of them gets a good run here, that could determine the side. Good serve by Lily Nelson. Fry will send this one. Nelson gets sends this one over. Williams sets it up for Gabby Nelson to spike it over. Big close to the net. Hansen and Fry can't do anything about that one. And Waniarek just couldn't quite get the bump she wanted on it. It's tied up at 10s. Lily Nelson serve barely ekes over the net, but that'll be an ace. And the Lancers have retaken their 1 point advantage. Another very short serve from Nelson that manages to get over. Miller tries to keep this one off the ground, but couldn't quite get the angle on it. And it's tied up at double ones. Serving now is Faldit Platter for the Norse. Miller, heroic diving saves. He got that one to snag that point for the Lancers. Miller's playing pretty well tonight, I do have to say. Pfeiffer will come in to replace Williams. Shabrill serving once again for Green. We've gotten through a full rotation now. Good serve received by Davis. Knudsen, and that's Hansen who will set it over. Bumped over the net, bit of a joint bump there from the Lancers. Fry will bump this one over now onto the Lancers side. Pfeiffer spikes it deep. And Faldit Platter can't quite keep this one alive for the Norse. The Lancers are up by 2 now. And so far we haven't seen a lead much bigger than this tonight. It's been a very close night so far. Good serve by Shabrill. Fry keeps it alive, but a bit too close to the net, and Hansen can't keep it out of it. That's 3 points up now for the Lancers. Number 13, Shabrill, to serve once again for Green. This one goes wide right, and Whitehall will take the serve, now down by just 2. That's Voller coming in to replace Hartland, and it'll be Fry to serve. Miller, nice receive, but just couldn't do too much about it. Got a bit too close to her, and she couldn't bump it forward, sending it out of bounds and giving it the Norse another point. Fry's hoping to tie it up here with the serve at 14s. Short serve, hits the top of the net and falls down onto the Whitehall side, and that's 15-13 now for Emmanuel. Kern manages to squeeze this one over the net. It's a nice tip from Davis there, right in front of the Lancers' front line. Managed to get it in between them. And it's Hansen serving now for the Norse. They're down by just 1. Lenny Rett quickly comes in to replace Faldit Platter, and she'll head to the back row. Hansen with the serve. The serve by Hansen. Lily Nelson is there. Shabrill and Pfeiffer will try to spike this one. Doesn't quite get the angle on it. Sends it out of bounds. And it's tied up at 15s. 10 to go for either team to take the first set, and we are keeping it close tonight. Kern will bump this one forward to teammate Shabrill. Wise choice is sent over by Pfeiffer. Lily Nelson is there to keep it alive for the Lancers. Shabrill tips this one. Pfeiffer goes for the block. She's just a bit too late on it, though, and she will hold it up against the net. The Norse have retaken the lead. It's Lily Nelson doing her best to receive the serve cleanly for the Lancers, but just a bit too far in front of her. Well positioned, right in no man's land. And it's Hansen serving once again for Orange. This time it's Miller who will bump it over to the north side. Miscommunication between Knudsen and Fry gives the Lancers a serve once again. And it is now 17-16 in favor of Whitehall, with the Lancers' Gabby Nelson to serve. Deep serve from Nelson, received by Fry. And she will pop this one over. Nice set by Shabrill. That's a point for the Lancers, tied up at 17. This is going to be an eventful CT matchup if all 3 sets are like this. Shorter serve, poorly received by Voller. And the Lancers now have retaken the lead. Just 7 to go. Gabby Nelson once again. Fry bumps this one a bit too far in front of teammate Davis. And the Lancers are nearing that 20-point mark. They need just one more to get there. Nelson keeping it going here. Received by Fry. And this one's sent over by Knutson. Shabro gets there. Miller. Nice spike. Davis mishandles the tip. And the Lancers are now at 20. Need just 5. Gabby Nelson with a nice serving streak here. Let's see if she can keep it going. Miscommunication. Vollert called mine and then proceeds to duck underneath the ball. 4 more for Green. Deep serve received by Salazar. And set over by Laniarek. Miller tries to spike this one right back over to the Norse, but mistimes the jump. And that's Schmid coming in it for Gabby Nelson. Serving now is Davis. They're down by 3, but the Lancers are just 4 away from taking the first set. And this serve comes up short. That is not what the Norse needed. Pfeiffer now is going to try and serve and get these last 3 points for Green to take set number 1 of the night. Low serve. No double hit called on Mendez there. It's quite all right. Roth can't bump this one over the net, and the Norse will retake the serve. Serving now is Hartland. Toes the line and comes up short. Lancers need just 2. It's Miller to serve now. Trying to get these last 2 points here for Emmanuel. This will also come up short. And that's the Norse now in the 20s. They really need at least 4 big points here to send this game into extra points, but if they could just win it outright, 25-23, that would be most preferable for them. Hansen will come in to replace Salazar, perhaps in hopes of achieving that goal. And serving is Knutson. Received by Kern. Williams tips this one over the net. The Norse keep it alive. Kern. Williams will set up Shabro. Good spike. That's deep. And miscommunication between Fry and Hansen. They both went for it, but they managed to get it over the net either way. Kern sends it deep. Knutson can't get there in time. And the Lancers need just 1 more to take set number 1. Serving for them to get it done will be Lily Nelson. And Gabby Nelson will also come in to replace Schmid. No relation, coincidence. Game winner serve here. And doesn't quite hit it right. The Norse will take this point. They really need 3 here to send it into extra points. But either they will lose or get it into extra points and maybe take the win. It's going to be a tough fight here, though. Followed up Platiture now serving for Orange. She can't quite take the pressure as the Lancers will take the first set 25-21. We'll be back in just a few minutes for set number 2. Stay tuned. we are back on for set number 2. Serving first for the Norse will be Fry. After she ties her shoe. Serve to start off the second set from Fry looks quite good. Gabby Nelson will bump it over to the north side. Fry is there to receive it. Set it by Wanierek. Davis manages to get this one over. Pfeiffer keeps it alive, but gets in the way of Nelson as she tries to back up to stay out of the way. And the Norse will take the first point of this second set. Fry again. Deep serve, Shabro manages to twist to receive this one. Pfeiffer manages to squeeze this one over the net. And the Lancers will get their first point, tying it up 1-1. Shabro. Low, fast serve. Wanierek gets it over the net. Gabby Nelson is there to send it right back over to orange side. And a miscommunication between Hansen and Fry gives Lancers the lead. 2-1. Serve received by Knudsen. Vollert tries to spike this one, but wasn't quite facing the right direction. And that's the Lancers up 3-1. Shabro once again. Nice tip over. Gabby Nelson bumps this one high and gets it over the net. Wanierek tries to set it over instead of to a teammate. And this maybe unwise decision will give the Lancers a 4-1 lead. Wanierek sets up Davis. Shabro is there. Gabby Nelson will spike this one deep. Received by Knudsen. Wanierek sets it over once again. This time it works as it will touch down on the Lancers side. Norse down by just 2 now. And serving for them will be Hansen. It's served by Hansen, received by Pfeiffer. Gabby Nelson gets there in time to keep it alive. Kern will spike this one over. Fry sets up Davis, who will send it out of bounds. Just a bit wide. And it's the Lancers to serve once again. Kern this time. Salazar will come in to replace Hansen. Served by Karen, comes up just a bit short and hits teammate Gabby Nelson in the head as it rolls down the net. Davis now serving for Orange. Service received by Lily Nelson. Williams bumps it up for Pfeiffer. Fadeaway spike into the net. And Knudsen kicking herself a bit for missing that one. Nice move by Pfeiffer there to snag that point for the Lancers. Schmid will head back to serve. Her first time serving tonight. Pretty good looking serve from Schmid, gives her an ace. Schmid again. This time it'll come up a bit short and would have been a bit wide if it had enough power on it. Handing that point to the Norse. They're down by 3 right now. Good looking serve by Vollert there. Tipped over by Fry. Williams will set up Miller, but it's not quite high enough. And that's the Norse point there. serve by Vollert. Kern gets there this time. Williams will set up Roth, who spikes it into the net. Once again, not quite enough height on that set. And also just a bit mistimed on the spike. And the Lancers are now only up by 1, 7-6. Schmid receives this serve. Williams gets here in time. Miller will spike this one. It gets over. Fry will send it right back over, and that hits the ceiling, giving that point to the Norse, tied up at 7s. Serving again is Vollert. She's got a good run here. Pfeiffer receives the serve. Williams will try to set up Miller. She'll roll this one over. Good work by Salazar there to keep it alive, and Norse have retaken the lead, 8-7. Williams will set this one over. Good move. Norse were not expecting that one at all, and it is tied up at 8. Shabrel will come in to replace Williams. As well as Hartland for Vollert. Serving now is Abigail Pfeiffer. This serve is a bit too high, and there's a resonating thud as this one hits one of the supporting beams in the ceiling. It's not too often you see that one happen. Bit of confusion from the Norse, but serving will be Knudsen for Orange. Shabrel manages to get this one over the net, and she'll spike it over once again. Who needs 3 touches when you can just have 1? Shabrel, deep spike. This time it's a bit too far out of the back. And the Norse have hit the double digits, up by 2. Served by Knudsen is received by Shabrel. Shabrel will spike this one over. Knudsen is there. Fry sets it up, mishandles the set, but will keep it alive. And Pfeiffer sets this one a bit too close to the net. Teammates weren't quite sure whether she was trying to get it over or setting up one of her teammates for a spike. And looks like one of the Norse players must have been in the net, as it will be Pfeiffer serving again for green. Never mind, Miller. Good effort there by Knudsen to keep this ball alive for the Norse. And Shabrel will send it inbounds, as called by line judge Quaid. Just barely hits the edge of that line. And it'll be Miller once again after Wanurek comes in to replace Falda Platter. Serve. Miller can't get there in time, and none of her teammates were far enough back to keep it alive. It's a well-positioned spike from the Norse. And that'll be Siebert coming in to replace Miller. As well as Davis for Mendez. Serving is Wanurek. This serve comes up well short. And Kern will hand it to teammate Roth, who will serve after Schmid comes out so that Gabby Nelson can come in. Serve from Roth. Looks good. Davis receives it. Wainwright and Knudsen putting in the effort tonight. She's able to keep it alive. That is a carry called on Roth. She kind of caught that one and threw it forward. And now serving for Norse will be Fry. They're up by 1, 12-11. Powerful serve. Shabro can't receive this one. That's an ace. Fry again. Another powerful serve. Lily Nelson doesn't quite know how to react to this one in time. Fry's packing some heat here, and the Lancers need to respond quickly before they get into too deep of a deficit. They're down by 3 right now. That's third consecutive ace from Fry. Still no timeouts called by either team here tonight, but if you ask me, I'm expecting one from Coach Tiefel here pretty soon, if this keeps up. Shabro receives this one. Pfeiffer can't do anything about it, though. And this is an excellent scoring streak from the Norse. The Lancers haven't been able to get it over the net in 5 straight. 4 straight. Siebert misses the bump on this serve. And Fry is 4 for 5 on aces this run. Serve received by Siebert, goes well out of bounds. And the Lancers are now down by 7. Cleanly reserved by Lily Nelson. Pfeiffer manages to get her to the net. And we'll have our first volley in a little bit. Gabby Nelson sends this one over. The Lancers get a much needed point as they will be heading back to serve will be Shabro. Miller coming in to replace Siebert. Serve from Shabro comes up short. Williams will come in to replace her. Serve from Hampson, well placed just barely in front of Pfeiffer, and the Norse are in the 20s. Hanson serve will come up a bit short, and the Lancers have another chance to serve. They're down by 7 right now. Salazar will come in to replace Hanson. Serving is Kern. Let's see if she can get something going here for Emmanuel and their home gym. Bounces off the ceiling, and the Lancers will take that point, now down by 6. Kern serve will hit the post, and even though it does land inbounds because it hits the post on the serve, this point will go to the Norse. Norse have reached their score from the first set, whereas the Lancers only have barely more than half of what they had last set. They'll move up to 15 after this mistimed serve. Roth will come in to replace Nelson. Lily Nelson, Schmid for Gabby Nelson, and she'll head back to serve. High serve lands out of bounds. Mendez almost receives this one, but wisely listens to her teammates and decides not to. The Norse have just 3 to go. The Lancers have 10. Serving now is Vollard. Service received by Pfeiffer. Williams will set up Miller for the deep spike. Salazar gets there in time. Mendez can't do the same, and the Lancers will get this point. Still down by 6. Shabro coming in to replace Williams, and Hartland in to replace Vollert. Serving is Pfeiffer. Good low serve received by Salazar, tipped over by Lanier. Knudsen will spike this one. Schmidt can't get there in time, and the Norse need just 2 to take the second set. Hansen is in for Salazar. Serve from Knudsen, looks good. Shabro receives. Pfeiffer tries to tip it over, blocked by Fry. And the Norse need just 1. Serve from Knudsen. Hits the top of the net. And Pfeiffer will get called for the carry. Set 2 goes to the Norse, 25-16. First set went 25-21 in favor of Manual, and we've had a close couple C-team sets here tonight. Look forward to seeing what's going to happen in the third set and which team will take it. Stay tuned. Be back in a couple minutes. Fry to serve for the Norse to start off the third set. Good serve received by Shabro. Williams gets there, and Gabby Nelson will bump this over. Knudsen. So well-placed bump from Waniarek to take the first point of set 3 for the Norse. Serve received by Nelson and set over by Williams. Hansen will backwards bump this one over. Lily Nelson gets the ball a bit too close to the net, and the Norse are off to an early 2-0 lead. Serve from Fry is received by Lily Nelson. She'll get it over. And a bit of a miscommunication between Wanyaruk and Davis will give the Lancers their first point on the board in set 3. Serving is Shabrel. Shorter serve, received by Knutson. She'll spike this one over from the bat. And that will bounce off the top of the net over the head of Kern and land in bounds, giving the Norse their third point. Serving is Hansen. Server is received by Lily Nelson. She'll bump it over. Knutson is there, set over by Wanyaruk. Knutson bumps this one over. Miller can't quite get there in time. Good attempt, but it's just no good. And the Norse are up 4-1. Serve from Hansen. Received by Miller deep. Williams will bump this over. Hansen sends it right back to the Lance's side. Gabby Nelson sends it right back to the North side. Wanyaruk sets it over. Shabrel will set up Gabby Nelson to spike it deep. Hansen gets it. Fry will set this one over. Lily Nelson's there. We've got a good volley going here. A bit of a miscontact from Gabby Nelson. It's not called. Shabrel will set up Gabby Nelson deep. Hansen receives. Fry will set up Wanyaruk. Miscommunication between Lancers Miller and Lily Nelson will give the Norse an early 4-point advantage. Lancers only up 1 on the board. Hansen serving once again. This time it's received by Williams. Shabrel will set up Gabby Nelson to spike it over the top of Knutson, and Davis will send it out of bounds. Lancers will take the serve. Kern heading back to the line. Salazar in to replace Hansen. Kern. Good serve, received by Fry. Nice set from Wanyaruk to Knutson. Kern is there. Bit too close to the net. Miller will cross the center line, and the Norse are once again up by 4. Serve from Davis. Right in no man's land, wall position. And that's a timeout from Coach Tiefel. Lancers are down by 5 and only have 2 points to show for their effort. They got to start getting things worked out here quickly. We'll be right back. Serving now is Davis for Orange. The Norse are up by 5 right now. Now only 4. And we'll have a couple subs for either team. Serving is Schmid for the Lancers. Serve from Schmid comes up short. Vollert serving for Orange. Serve received by Williams. Shabrel will bump it up for Miller to spike it over. Mendez. And that's Wanyaruk can't quite keep it alive, even after a good attempt by Knutson. but serving now is Williams. Her first time serving tonight. And she will not get it over the net. It's one thing she's definitely been struggling with this season. I'm sure she's practicing it, but she's just got a little bit more to go before she can get it over there. Serving now is Knudsen. Pfeiffer will bump this one right over to the north side. Fry spikes it about 5 feet deep of the Lancers back line, and Green will get this point. Serving is Miller. Received by Hansen. Wanurek will set up Fry. Miller manages to keep it alive. Schmid and Miller gets it over. Fry tips it right back over, but Pfeiffer's there to keep it alive. Good effort by the Lancers there. Fry tips this one over. The Norse will get that point anyway. Good work by Fry there to send the Norse into the double digits. They're up by 5. Folded Platitur in to replace Wanurek and Davis for Mendez. Serve from Folded Platitur is received by Kern. Schmid will bump it forward. Pfeiffer can't get it over the net. And the Norse are currently up 6. Folded Platitur once again. Kern receives this one. Williams will tip it over. Good move. Lily Nelson and Gabby Nelson in for Roth and Schmid. And Lily Nelson will head back to serve for Green. Manuel is down by 5 right now. This serve rolls down the net after coming up short. Serving now is Fry. Nelson makes the right decision to go for a one-arm bump to keep it alive, but even that wasn't enough. And the Norse have taken a 7-point lead. Pfeiffer will send this one deep. And Fry once again with a 2-ace streak. She had one of these in the second set as well, and I'd say that was a pretty big part of why the Norse were able to take set number 2. This time it's received by Miller, but Pfeiffer isn't looking for it, and that's 3 in a row. Like I said earlier, serving is a big part of these sets, and Fry's serving is certainly putting in work for the Norse right now. Miller manages to twist to get this one over the net. She'll keep it alive. And Gabby Nelson sends it over to where nobody was on the north side of the court. And the Lancers will get that point. Shabro coming in to replace Pfeiffer. Serve from Shabro comes up short. No good. As a reminder, the Lancers took set number 1, 25-21, and lost the second set, 16-25. And they're struggling to keep it close in this third set. They still have time to get things turned around, but it's starting to look a bit tighter than they would like. Good move by Gabby Nelson. Wanurek can't get it to a teammate, and the Lancers have cut their deficit to 8. Serving is Kern. Serve from Kern. Shabro's there for the Lancers, and it's bumped over by Gabby Nelson. Wanurek sets up Knudsen. Kern is there. Miller will bump it up for Shabrel to set it over. Fry receives. Wanierek sets up Knudsen. Good spike. Kern can't keep it alive. And the Norse have reestablished their 9-point lead. They have just 8 to go to take set number 3. Lancers still have yet to reach the double digits. Davis. Serve is received by Miller. And Seabit can't get this one over the net. The Norse have taken a double-digit lead here. And time is definitely running out for this Lancer team if they want to get things turned around. Davis again. This serve will come up short. Roth and Schmidt in for Nelson and Nelson. Bailey Schmidt serving. The Lancers win the point off the serve. They'll be in the double digits. However, the serve is no good. Doesn't quite have the power it needs. And the Norse are nearing the 20s. Serving now is Riley Ballard. Schmidt is there. Miller can't get this one out of the net. The Lancers are down by 11 as the Norse reach 20. Lancers JV is coming out of the locker here. Seabit bumps this one over to the North side. And bump from Knudsen, barely out of bounds. Lancers have reached double digits, but they're still down by 10. Norse currently doubled up on them right now. Seabit now, her first opportunity to serve tonight for Green. Let's see what she's got. Good looking serve received by Fry. Miller and Roth steps out of the way so that Kern can get it over, but she can't get there in time. The Norse need just 4. Lancer bench getting pretty loud right now. Serve from Knudsen. Bounces straight out of the net. And Lily Nelson will come in to replace Roth. And it'll be Miller heading back to the line. Serve from Miller is received by Fry. Wanierek will bump it up. Fry will spike this one up deep. Miller gets there. Lily Nelson and bumped over by Williams. Wanierek sets it over. Schmid gets there in time. Tipped over by Pfeiffer. Miller's there. Bit too close to the net. Williams doesn't quite have the height to get that one over the top of the net. And the Norse need just 3. Falled at Platter in to serve for Orange. Serve is received by Kern, tipped over by Williams, set over by Falled at Platter. Good effort by Miller. She's trying her hardest tonight. Fry will bounce this one off the top of the net and over, and Whitehall needs just 2. Ace from Falled at Platter. And the last serve for the Norse tonight probably. Falled at Platter has a chance to win this set for Orange. Set over by Williams. Nice back set there by Hansen. This one will roll over the net and onto Norse territory. Gabby Nelson in to replace Schmid. And Wanierek in to replace Falled at Platter. Serve from Lily Nelson. That's an ace from Nelson. She's got to have a heck of a run here if the Lancers want to take this. Not a single mistake. Let's see if she's got it in her. This one's received by Davis. Out of bounds is called by line judge Quaid. And the Lancers now down by just 10. Serve from Nelson. Bounces off the top of the net. Fry keeps it alive for Orange though. Pfeiffer tips this one over. And that is a double hit by Hansen. And we've got the Norris coach trying to argue that point. They're currently up by 9. And they have just 1 point to go. And I believe what she is trying to argue is that it was a 2-hit contact, but it went over the net, which it did not. There was another contact after that to get it over. But that will stay with the Lancers. Lily Nelson once again. She's got to keep it going here for Green. Another good serve received by Hansen. Wayne Urek sends it over. Williams, Pfeiffer. Knudsen is there in the back. Wayne Urek sets it up for Fry. And that's the killing blow. The Norse will put the nail in the coffin and take set number 3, 25-15. Thanks for tuning in tonight to support the C-Team players. It's always a pleasure to have you guys. This has been Drew Eichstead behind the camera. Uriah Wales behind the mic. Stay tuned for JV, signing off for now.